Hello Westfield School, it's Alistair from Bedford Borough Council here. I'm giving you a short assembly message. Sorry I can't be with you today, but we've got some exciting things coming up with Westfield School, so I thought I'd let you know about them. But firstly, we're going to just have a little think about how we get to school. So have a little think about how you got to school today. So here's a picture. There's some interesting ways of getting to school here. Rocket, by a spring, or on stilts. But you know, there's perhaps the normal ways we get to school, which might be walking, scooting, cycling, being driven in a car, maybe catching a bus. So thinking about those ways of getting to school, think about how you get to school, because what we're going to talk about now is why walking, scooting and cycling is really the best way to be getting to school. Okay, so firstly, it's a really healthy way of getting to school. We get some exercise on the way to school, so that's a really good start for the day, isn't it? That we can get some exercise in the morning. So that's one good reason why walking, scooting and cycling is good for us. The second good reason is there's less air pollution and less carbon dioxide that's emitted. So it makes the area around the school so much cleaner and greener, and is good for the planet. Okay. Another good reason is, here's a picture of some person buying some petrol, because if we walk, scooter or cycle, it doesn't cost us any money to get there. We don't have to put fuel in our bikes. We just have to have a good breakfast, and then we've got lots of energy to help us get to school. Okay, here's a picture that shows us why it's also really good for our brains. Okay, here's a picture of two brains, and they've done something called an MRI scan, which stands for magnetic resonance imaging, of these two children. Okay, and they're children of a primary school age, so similar age to you. Okay, they did some research where they asked children to walk for 20 minutes or just sit quietly for 20 minutes. And what they found was, for the people that were walking or doing a little bit of exercise, their brain activity was really good. Okay, so what this means is that if we do a bit of exercise on the way to school, if we walk for 20 minutes or if we cycle for a little bit, that means that our brains are ready for learning. If we're just sitting in a car and being driven all the way to school, that means our brains aren't very active, so we have to do a bit of running around the playground before our brains are ready for school. Okay, so it can help us, and it can help our teachers if our brains are ready for learning when we arrive at school. Another reason is it can be faster. It seems a bit strange because we think that cars can go fast, and when we're walking we're quite slow, or when we're cycling we're a little bit faster, but still we think the cars are faster. But sometimes if we're in the car, we have to get in the car, we have to start it, we have to get stuck in traffic on the way, and then we have to find somewhere to park. And by the time we've done all that, we could have actually got to school, because especially around Westfield School there, and in Queen's Park, there's lots of little cut throughs that we can take so that we can get to school a little bit quicker. This is someone called Denise Muller-Kirpenek, and she is the fastest person in the world on a bike. Okay, so she went at 184 miles per hour on her bike. So that shows how fast a bike can actually go. Actually bikes can be quite quick. But I'm not expecting any of you guys to be traveling 184 miles an hour, not even if you're in a car. Okay. Another good reason is, and this picture shows it, how much less space we take up if we're walking or cycling. See how much space the cars take up. So all those people stood in front of the cars, that is how many people those cars would be transporting. But if we're walking or if we're cycling, we take up so much less space. So that's far less congestion and it makes the space around the school so much clearer if we aren't using our cars. Plus, it's something we can all do. We can do it with friends. And that's one of the things that you might want to think about, especially as you get older, is instead of walking with your family, maybe going to school with your friends. So you might want to meet up with friends before you go to school. And in fact, if you do live a little bit too far away from school, perhaps you can ask your mum or dad to be dropped at so that you can be dropped at a friend's house instead, and so you can walk or scoot with them for the rest of the journey to school. Okay, and that means that the area around the school, it's got one less car around it, which makes it a lot safer and easier for everyone trying to get to school. But the most important reason that I think we should be walking, scooting or cycling to school is that it's fun. It's a really fun way to get around. For all those reasons, that it's healthy and all that, and we can do it with friends, and it's fun to be with friends. But we can have a laugh while we're doing it. It's much better than just staring at the back of our mum or dad's head in the back of a car. We can actually talk and have fun and communicate with people. Okay, and just to reinforce that, if you can't walk, scoot or cycle, do think about parking and striding. Park about 5 minutes away from the school, and then you can still get all the benefits of walking to school, because you still do a little bit of a walk to school. So if you really do live too far away, just park up a little bit further away than you usually would, and then walk, or put a scooter in the back of the car and scoot the rest of the way. Okay, so now I want to tell you about something that's really, really exciting for the school, because with Mr. Templey's help, you've been working hard at encouraging more and more walking, scooting and cycling. And what that means is the school has won a special award, which is a Modeshift STARS certificate here, and it's a bronze accreditation. Okay, and it means that it's just a reward for all the hard work that the school has been doing, and especially Mr. Templey, the work that he's been doing to try and encourage you guys to be thinking about walking, scooting and cycling to school, and also walking, scooting and cycling in your everyday life as well. So the more of that you can do, the healthier you get, and it's good for everyone, isn't it? So well done on getting your bronze accreditation. So do have a little look out for that. It'll probably be up in the entrance area of the school when I get a chance to give it to Mr. Templey. Now, when I was actually speaking to Mr. Templey and Mrs. Watts, we're saying, right, okay, should we go for silver next? And Mrs. Watts actually said, no, at Westfield we go for gold. So the next thing we are going to try and do is try and get you to gold level. So that means that we'll be working with the school a lot more and doing a lot more things. So do look out for getting involved, and do try and encourage, come up with some ideas of things that we can do to try and encourage more and more people to be walking, scooting and cycling to Westfield. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to have a doctor bike next Tuesday, and this is so that you can cycle to school more. So if your bike isn't working as well as you think it might be, if the tyres aren't pumped up, bring your bike in, and David will be there next Tuesday to help you. So letters have gone to your parents, so talk to your parents about it, bring your bikes in next Tuesday, and we can get them fixed up for you. Okay, now the other thing I want to talk to you about, another thing we're going to start doing, is something called WOW, which is a year-round walk to school challenge. So as you can see, we're doing more and more things to try and get you guys to gold. Okay, now the WOW walk to school challenge, you can earn badges. So there's special badges that are designed by children all around the country. Okay, and you can earn those badges the more you walk to school. But also, it's not just walking. If you're going to school by bike, if you're going to school on your scooter, if you're parking and striding, or if you're catching the bus, there's always a bit of walking in that. So if you're doing that, that all counts. Okay, now this is the message for the teachers as well, but I want you children to be reminding your teachers to do this, because there's a website that you can take down, which is www.traveltracker.org.uk. Okay, so we go to that and you type in the special classroom access code, which for Westfield School is empty-stack-flail. And here's a picture some picture clues to remind you. So there's an empty glass, there's a C stack, which is a geographical feature, and there is a flail, which is a medieval weapon. Okay, so just think of those things for the classroom access code. And what happens then is, if you go to traveltracker.org.uk, put in empty stack and flail, then you can go to your dashboard. Okay, and the WOW dashboard looks a little bit like this. Okay, and you can have your names there if you want, if your teacher's okay with typing all your names in, but you can also be assigned an image. So you might choose to be the mouse, for example, and then you click on the mouse and you say how you got to school. And the more times you record that you're walking or cycling or scooting or catching the bus or parking and striding, the more you get a chance to earn those badges. Okay, so have a look out for that. That's WOW. So I'm going to just let you say goodbye to you now, and there's a short video to enjoy about WOW. So it'll tell you a little bit more about it, but don't forget to try and remind your teachers to log your journeys as much as possible using the classroom access code. Okay. Anyway, best of luck with all your walking, scooting and cycling. Hopefully David will see you next Tuesday for some with your bikes. So best of luck with all that, and hopefully see you soon. Bye bye then.